Hi, I'm Mr. Ouija and I teach 504.
Hi, Miss Pizzula again from 505.
And today we are going to be doing
Sorting
shapes. So today we are going to be sorting shapes. But that's not all. We're going to be doing some graphing as well. Now I know that in Miss Pizzula's class, and certainly in Mr. Ouija's class, we did some graphing in our morning meetings to show some things that we like, some things that we don't like, what makes us happy, what makes us sad. So today we're going to be sorting shape by their attributes, and then we're going to graph it. And it's going to look something like this.
Okay, so for today, you're going to need two things. You're going to need the shapes that we printed out on Monday, and you're also going to need your graph record sheet. And you can get these by clicking on the link in the math unit grid.
Now, we're going to be sorting these shapes. So, Ms. Pizzulo, I'm going to think of my shape attributes, and then I'm going to use this grid to help me graph the attributes and also the shapes. Okay, so let me think. The attribute that I'm thinking, and I'm looking at all of these shapes, are shapes with 4 corners. There you go, 4 corners. That's an attribute. So let me just scan through these shapes. A right triangle, 1, 2, 3 corners. An equilateral triangle, 3 corners. Hexagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners, Mr. Ouija. Rectangles, 4 corners. There you go. Shape attribute, 4 corners. How about a trapezoid? 4 corners. Square, 4 corners. Circle, no corners. Triangle, 3 corners. And then also a rhombus, 4 corners. So there you go. This column has shapes with 4 corners, and these are going to be placed in this column for shapes that has less than 4 corners. So I'm looking at my record right here. Let me just move this up a little bit. And I can see that there are 4 shapes that has 4 corners, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shape that has less than 4 corners, which means that there is one more shape that has less or more than 4 corners than my shapes to the left-hand side.
Oh, so I see what you've done, Mr. Ouija. So if I look at this closely, I notice that this side of your graph has a rule. And the rule on this side is that there are 4 corners for each of these shapes, which means that these shapes on this side do not fit that rule. They do not have 4 corners. They have less or more or no corners. Nice job, Mr. Ouija.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Ouija, I'm going to try to challenge you and myself now, and I'm going to think about a different way that I can sort my shapes. Okay, so you chose 4 corners. So instead of using corners, I'm going to use the language of sides. I'm going to think about the sides of my shapes. Now, we've got many different shapes here, and they've got different sides. Some have 3 sides, some have 4 sides, but I'm going to push myself to think a little bit harder than that. What if I think about equal and unequal sides? So if I look through my shapes, I notice that a right triangle has equal sides. All of the sides are the same size. So I'm going to put that over here. An equilateral triangle follows the same rule, equal sides. A circle doesn't have the same sides and it doesn't fit that rule. So I'm going to put that over here. A hexagon has equal sides, also fits my rule. A scalene triangle. No, I notice that this side is shorter than this side, and this side is shorter than this side, so it does not fit my rule. A rhombus has 4 equal sides, so I'm going to put that here. A rectangle, not quite. 2 longer sides and 2 shorter sides does not fit my rule. A square does have equal sides. And a trapezoid, no, I notice that this side is shorter and these two sides are shorter, so it does not fit my rule. So Mr. Ouija, on this side, I've sorted my shapes so that this side has equal sides and this side of my graph has all the shapes that do not fit that rule.
Excellent, Miss Pizzulo. I noticed that when you were explaining your thinking, you were using some precise math words. You were using attribute words like corners and also sides. Fantastic. Now, mathematicians, are you ready? Get your shapes ready, and you can sort them by their attributes. And then afterwards, make sure that you're also reading the data. Okay, off you go.
Good luck, 505 and 504.